Peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrate. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Right now, I want to talk to y'all about, you know, going to your local lapidary, picking out your stones. Matter of fact, I want to tell y'all a funny story about using that word lapidary. I had already did this video until I realized that I was saying lapidary wrong. I don't know why, but I was saying lapidary. I'm like, why in the hell you adding this extra like why like what was going? And I'm like, cause sometimes I don't know if y'all pay attention. I got like a little dyslexic nature, like, cause in essence, like my soul sometimes is like, to hell with these words. It's already bad enough. It ain't no ancient words in this bullshit of a language anyway. But you know what I'm saying. But yeah, lap lapidary. But you know what I'm saying. I want to talk about picking out your different stones from your lapidary or wherever you go to pick your stones from, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I'm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I go to Coyote Moon. Matter of fact, Coyote Moon on Perkins is a good spot, man. From aromatherapy to stones to books, singing bowls, like most of your spiritual needs, you know what I'm saying, on that end, is at Coyote Moon. So check them out. But Coyote Moon is where I get most of my stones, and it's certain things that could help you, you know what I'm saying, in your decision making, certain things to know that could help, cuz me personally, I tell people, well, I just realized this, but one of the things I would say is before you go out to pick your stones or whatever, like say for instance if you like me where you got a thousand crystals around your neck. You got the jewelry, you know what I'm saying? If when you go to pick your stones, you may want to, go without all you might want to take your necklace off and take your bracelets off. Unless your bracelets and your chain, unless it's an energy that just always help you with decision making. That's what I tell people too. Like there's an asterisk by it. Like it won't hurt you. You know what I'm saying, to have all the stones on if these stones are helping your intuitive ability where they're making you key in on what stone you want. Like just right exactly, and you're good. But if not, it would be a good idea to leave like your necklace and like all your beads. And matter of fact, if you got any pocket stones, you like to keep on you and stuff like that, leave that by the house when you go to pick out your stones. Cause one of the things when you go to pick out stones, what I've learned from experience, is man, there's a lot of overwhelming energy in the stone shop. If you ever been to one, man, there's nothing but this everywhere. Like it's just energy, you know what I'm saying, pulling you in all directions. And you don't want to make it worse by stepping into it, and you got energy pulling you in all directions, even on your body. Which when I say pulling you in all directions, it's just that it's an overwhelming of vibrations, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily that they vibrations that's polarizing, so they, like I say, from opposite sides, kind of like how I told you about dealing with like blue lace gate compared to orange kyanite, how the energy, one is energetic and one slows you down. But it's not necessarily that, but it is that too, you know what I'm saying? Because you having all these stones in here, but it's just more of just the overwhelming feeling of feeling all the energies, you know what I'm saying? When you step into the place, it's like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? It's like an overwhelming feeling. And so I try to leave all my personal stones and all that behind, and when you're looking for your stones, also on another tip, you wanna feel your stones. You know what I'm saying? It's not about vanity. It's not about looks. You know what I'm saying? I used to suffer from that sometimes. Every now and then, though, even though sometimes vanity could in essence, like where you just see something that catch your eye. then necessarily that may necessarily go with the energy behind it too, because it's something that told you to look at it, or something that got you locked in on that stone. So so anything, matter of fact, any type of intuitive information, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I have to stop myself and like almost like ask my spirit guide, like, all right, spirit guide, this energy is getting overwhelming in here. Please point me to the right direction so I could get out of here. Cause most of the time when I go to Coyote Moon, I'm in there for at least 2 hours. Most of the time, I have to always go like on a day off or something. But you know what I'm saying? Like those those energies, you damn near have to ask a spirit guide. All right, man, point me out exactly to the right one, cause you could be in there for days. But it's not so much about vanity and how glossy a stone look, or you know what I'm saying, in which some people, different strokes for different folks, because some people like natural stones more, some people like tumble stones more. Me, I'm into tumble stones if I'm gonna use it as palm stones, because I like to just hold some stones in my hand and just and just do like this with them. And it's better to have a tumble stone when you're doing that. But like just raw energy, what I'm saying, I rather something that's not tumbled, like a big piece of kyanite or some raw tourmaline, or raw quartz and stuff like that. What I'm saying, raw quartz points. You know, that gives off more of that natural energy too, because that's more just like how anything in nature, when you modify it, it takes it away. You know what I'm saying? Like something in its natural state, is at its best. Kind of like your foods. Like a blueberry, grape, all this, like fresh from the tree, is at its best. You know what I'm saying? But when you take it and you melt it down a little bit and turn it to a puree and this and that. Oh yeah, it's still 100% fruit in essence, but it did chemically lose some of its essence once you added heat and did all these other things to it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with stones, kind of like how heat treated citrine or amethyst. You know what I'm saying? Won't have that same natural to it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna have the same and give off the same vibrations in essence, and it's they could be strong stones, but it just is something different about that rawness of of the natural stones, that raw vibration. You know what I'm saying? Is a whole different ball game. So it's not so much about, you know, the vanity of stones. And also, you want to, like, when you're going and looking at different stones, you want to take some of them and put them into your receiving hand, your hand that receives energy. I'm right handed, so my receiving hand is my left hand. And, also, your hands is the extension of the heart. You know what I'm saying? There's also reflexology that goes on in your hand. Like this middle area kind of deals with your stomach and spleen. As you go higher up like this, your fingertips deal with your pituitary and pineal gland. Your crown up here. As you go higher, this part it's almost like your body. So this the head around here be like dealing with your throat, neck. You know what I'm saying? Your heart would be somewhere right here, but there's a reflexology. Your heart, your hand, your palm has chakras also. Matter of fact, it's more than the seven chakras. Matter of fact, that's why with all the ancient texts, they just had to just dropping a little bit, because there's information that could be overwhelming. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on in this universe, which as above, so below. So a lot of stuff going on in this universe. The temple, the body. But I want to get off subject. As a matter of fact, it's with so much information, I be trying to drop just everything. You know what I'm saying? Trying to drop them jewels on you. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. Even though I'm talking about crystal. But you want to take some of the stones and like put them in your receiving hand and see if like I take, like, say for instance, four of the same stones, and the ones that I just really resonating with, and put in my hand. Like, all right, nope, this one, nope. And you'll just feel that energy. Some stones I put in my hands, like, whoa. Like what happens to me when a stone has a lot of energy that I could feel, my fingertips get jittery. Like I start, and I can only move them like in the arthritic, like I got arthritis or something. Like it's like, damn, what that is. You know what I'm saying? Especially something with a nice electrical charge, like excuse me, like a hematite or tourmaline, which has piezoelectricity. You know what I'm saying? Other stones do have it too, but I know tourmaline is one of the stones that I feel it in, the most. But just try checking out each stone with your receiving hand. Like for right-handed people, that's your left hand. For left-handed people, that's your right hand. You know what I'm saying? But check out each stone, on that level, and that kind of give you an idea. And also, you know what I'm saying? One of the main things that I've been learning to deal with, I've been on this, like I'm a Capricorn. I be into my business, manifesting things, and trying to get rid of those old ideas I had about money and abundance and stuff. So I'm getting into this new mind frame of like let money go like it ain't, cause it ain't nothing. It's monopoly and it's energy. You can't be scared to give out money. The reason why the rich people rich is because they're not scared to spend money on the stuff they really want. You know what I'm saying? And to the next thing, you know what I'm saying? Money should be no object when it comes to picking out your stones. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I suffer from that, trying to like, oh man, let me see. And two though, cause I be trying to get so many stones with one visit. That's why I be kind of trying to write this one too much. Let me see, all right. But buy the stone that resonates with your heart, point blank, period, and not just with stones. That's for this information. This is a tip for abundance in general. Like, buy what you want. If it's in your heart, you want it, and you want it bad enough, get it. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit there like, man, this and that, and I don't have enough for this, man. I don't want to spend that much. Bro, if all your bills paid and everything is taken care of, spend that money on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, spend that money, especially like dealing with like crystals and your knowledge and stuff like that. Remember, I used to be scared, like I wouldn't want to pay for a book that was more than $40. Now I have like 40. That's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, pay for your knowledge. Like, man, how, what you put into things come back into. I invest in my crystals, and my crystals invest energy back into me. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. But when you go to pick out your crystals, you can't be like looking at it from a penny pinching. Like, oh man, I really, really, really want this stone, but I don't want to pay for it. Not I don't have the money for it. I can see, and that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? I can see if you don't have the money for it, but when you have the money for it, but it's like, but I don't. I mean, if you really want it, you know what I'm saying? To hell with if the lapidary that you're going to have the price on that one just a little too high. Oh well, you know what I'm saying? Look, it'll come back, you know what I'm saying? The energy from that stone. Matter of fact, say for instance, you might be purchasing a big piece of citrine where after you spend the money on that citrine, the abundant vibration to make you make the money you spend on it like times three, you know what I'm saying? You'll triple that money that you spend on that citrine, you know what I'm saying? So don't worry about, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, this costs too much. Man, damn. 30, pay the money, man. It's an investment in your spirituality. What you're putting out there in the universe. What you're telling you talk to the universe without talking to it. Also, I repeat, you talk to the universe without talking. Like you talk to the universe with your actions. Also, it's not just what you put out there in your mind and verbally. You speak to the universe with your actions. So when you're scared to spend money on your spirituality and you're scared to invest in your spirituality, then the spiritual vibrations and don't invest in you. You know what I'm saying? You don't get the fullness of the spirituality because you penny pinching on your own spirituality. Spirituality gonna penny pinch on you. So it's good to just, when you see a stone you won't buy it. Don't let money be an object. Like I tell everybody, man, with everything, if the bills paid, the lights on, you got your good herbs, you got all the things you need. All the things that give you your peace of mind or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You got a roof over your head, everything good. And yes, buy the things you want. Cause by not buying what you really want, you sending that message out to the universe, man. I don't deserve this. Are you crazy? I'm a piece of shit. I don't deserve good things. That's basically what you're telling the universe. And the universe, like, well, all right, you said it. Cool. I won't give you good shit then. You know what I'm saying? While somebody who know better, like, yeah, I'm abundance. Look, I deserve this. I deserve. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it go. That's some type of little waltz or something. I just had to watch. I gotta be one with nature. But yes, money shouldn't be an object when you're picking out your stones. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it, deter you from something that may be life changing. My moldavite was $40 for this little This little stone. Look, I gotta get all close in the camera. The stone that's sandwiched in between this lapis lazuli and this azurite malachite. Like that's a piece of moldavite in there. $40 for that little small piece. But guess what? I paid for it and I wanted it because I wanted that change. And now I have synchronicity in my life so much that it becomes now at this point it's stupid of me to say, oh, that's crazy. Oh, damn, boy, that's crazy how that like every time I say that now, matter of fact, people that be around me they hear me say like, I don't even know why I even say that shit. Like nothing is a coincidence at this point, you know what I'm saying? But that's because I spent money and invested in my spirituality and now it invested in me, giving me this synchronicity and now I'm putting it on YouTube videos and investing in my entrepreneurship and in my business and in myself, building my market and my brand up, you know what I'm saying? From $40, you know what I'm saying? Look at it that way. And also when picking out your stones, another little last tip I think was just yeah, which is the last tip. Basically, just kind of using that soul, subconscious, and higher self. Matter of fact, that's what I really wanted to say too, which is funny, like, cause sometimes your soul or your higher self will pick out a stone, before you even pick out stones too. And that's why I tell people, that's why the term "go with your first mind," even resonates. Because there's sometimes where I had a case where I remember when I went pick out a piece of Numite one time. Numite, one of the oldest stones on Earth, from this earthly realm. You got stuff like Moldavite and stuff that's older, but it's from extraterrestrial, minerals and stuff like that. But like my Numite, I remember just seeing in the store, and sometimes it resonate with you with little context clues. Like I'm looking at it, and I'm like, and this stone $9. I never heard of it or whatever, and it looks pretty cool. And at $9, I'm like, it must, have carry some type of vibration. And for the last few days before I bought it, I was kind of like just gravitating towards the store. I'm like, I wonder what that stone about. Like I ain't never. And so I ended up buying it, and then when I bought it, the lady in the store was like, oh man, Corey, watching you. Matter of fact, I go to Coyote Moon a lot, so they know me. They was like, like she was like, man, you really gonna like this stone? Like, she was looking at the characteristics behind. She was like, watch it, she like if you don't know nothing about it right now, watch when you read about it, how much you're gonna be surprised. And like when read about it, it's talking about like using it with the black magic and the sorcery and basically like manifestations and dealing with luck and all this. And it was something I was really looking for at the time. I mean, like exactly looking for. Like that was the stone that I was, that vibration is what I was looking for. And that's how it happens sometimes too, where I won't even read up information on a stone and say, all right, read it and like, all right, I'm going to get this stone. Sometimes I just go to the store and just float around and just gravitate towards something out the blue, and then find out about it, and it was the energy that I needed at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you know what I'm saying? Say for instance, like with the sexual energy, you know what I'm saying? Like for a while, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, because I was being celibate, you know what I'm saying? And then also from being celibate, that the energy was kind, on some true shit. If you don't use it, you lose it, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I was like, man, I need something to, stimulate that sexual energy and raise it back up or whatever. So goes without saying, I just, go and buy shit or whatever. And then next thing you know, I look up orange kyanite, and lo and behold, it helps stimulate your sexual energy. I get the Shiva Lingam, and without knowing, and bam, all right, it's for the phallic energy and the egg energy. For the masculine and feminine energy, dealing with the sexual energy with the Kundalini. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know that till after I bought it, and then research afterwards, and and I that was the mind frame I was in. That's what I was looking for in spirit and and everything. But I hadn't looked it up before I went and go get it. So it's just like the universe just just led me to it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm like, ooh, this is a pretty stone. Ooh, I should get one of these. I've been looking at this, and then when I go and read, it's like, oh shit, this is what I've been looking for. It's the energy I was trying to attain. So definitely, that's just one of one of the last things, going with that first mind, not letting it be something of, vanity, not the looks of the stone, more of the vibrations, uh, not having overwhelming energies which along with you, when you go pick out your stones, make sure you leave all the change, like I say, unless it's some type of stone or some type of like all your jewelry really helps you with your decision making, you know what I'm saying? Which I find ametrine is good for that, and rainbow fluorite and hematite is good for that mental clarity also, you know what I'm saying? Kind of help with your decision making. So that's good to know also. But, if you're going to bring, a lot of stones with you, then make sure they're good for decision making, and not, not going to have you all over the place, tripping like, oh, I want this stone, or do I want this stone, I want this stone, I want, you could kind of, keep it calm. But that's all I have on this subject, just making sure you pick out your stones, matter of fact, go check out Coyote Moon if you're in the Baton Rouge area, Matter of fact, soon, like I already do my own jewelry, I want to get into that business also, the lapidary business, and start selling stones and having stones for people myself, But that's just my tips and how I help, things with my experience on how I pick my stones, things that, that I see that help me and that resonate with picking your stones. So hope that help y'all. Peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrates. We're vibing right now. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Go to your local lapidary. Your local lapidappery. I don't know why I was saying that shit wrong in the first video. But go to your local lapidary and go check out the stones. Go feel that energy, you know what I'm saying? It's not about vanity, it's about the energy you feel. But peace. Happy now.